I'm afraid of things. I worry about things. And I just worry about little things that nobody else wouldn't worry about.
I felt so all alone. I felt like I was in this world, and I was sick, and I had nowhere to turn, nobody to turn to, because they couldn't find anything wrong with me.
I've always been worried quite a bit about the way I feel. I think it kind of runs in the family, that we tend to take really good care of ourselves, to the point of being a little crocky about it. Yeah.
Most people who visit doctors have legitimate illnesses, but many don't. Doctors sometimes refer to them as crocs, hypochondriacs, people who are constantly complaining and worrying about their health. In some serious cases, hypochondriacs see many doctors and demand tests, drugs, and even operations. Dr. Robert Reinierson, chief of the psychiatric unit at Scott and White Hospital in Temple, Texas, works with some hypochondriacs.
These are people who frustrate the doctor. He can't get them well. They keep complaining. They keep having side effects.
And so they're an affront to his learning, isn't it?
Yes, and even though they keep saying they want to get well, they don't.
Forrest Gist is an artist in Salado, Texas, and a hypochondriac. He worries a lot about his health.
I get friends with terminal cancer and stuff all at once. I got it. I get a big case of indigestion, which turns out to be acid on my stomach. I think I'm having a heart attack and stuff like that, and it worries me.
Let me get a listen to you here while you're laying.
For Forrest Gist, though, all it takes to stop the worrying and get him back to work is an occasional checkup and some reassurance from the doctor.
Okay. Forrest is a good patient. From time to time, he is anxious about a symptom, but after we've had a chance to talk about the symptom, to examine him and do whatever laboratory work is indicated, he accepts the reassurance that he's in pretty good shape.
Not every hypochondriac is so lucky. Some need more than reassurance. They have real symptoms of illness, go from doctor to doctor, spend thousands of dollars on tests, operations, and medication, and find nothing is wrong with them.
I had a patient just this week who required over $500 worth of laboratory work in an attempt to reassure her about her concern of liver trouble. When I presented the results of the tests and my physical examination to her and attempted to reassure her, she didn't buy any of it. She wasn't reassured at all.
They tried me on a half a dozen on all the tranquilizers. I reckon the doctor over there gave me 2 or 3, it nearly killed me. And I always have to go back to the liver. But I don't have to take it like I used to. I used to take 25 milligrams 4 times a day, and now I take 10 milligrams. Sometimes I just take it once a day, and sometimes twice, sometimes 3. It's just on whether I think I need it or not.
Mrs. Wanda Massengale suffered painful bladder problems for 6 years. After many tests, operations, and medication, the doctors could find no physical reason for her problem.
But you go to a doctor and one tells you, I can't find anything wrong with you, and you're hurting so bad you can hardly get off the examining table. That is a very depressing feeling.
Modern medicine looks for causes for disease. Doctors seek to treat specific complaints. And yet the hypochondriac's problems are not all self-inflicted. Dr. Reinierson says many doctors have a deep need to cure their patients. And because modern testing equipment is so precise, doctors can easily find something abnormal in any patient. But the new tests and techniques don't answer the important questions asked by hypochondriacs. What led them to their complaints and symptoms? What personal and emotional difficulties are the real cause for their illness? Why they seem to need symptoms to cope with life. Mrs. Betty Abney had a severe case of psoriasis for 8 years. After many treatments, she was finally cured, but found that her personal problems, which her illness helped her deal with, did not go away.
It was always an enemy until it was not there anymore. And I found out that as long as I've had the disease, it was visible, and I could say, hey, I can't go here, I can't do this, and I can't do that because, look, I'm sick, there's something wrong, and I think I might miss that now.
I think the only way that a doctor can have any kind of success in dealing with a severely hypochondriacal patient is to change his expectation, to realize that the symptoms are a protection for the patient. and that he can help protect the patient by allowing him to remain with his symptoms, but at the same time protecting him from the assaults of other healers, you know, more medicines and more tests, this kind of thing.
Dr. Reinierson adds that most hypochondriacs never completely get better. They always complain and need constant reassurance. Some need psychiatric help. And some, like most of us, need to be reminded that rather than worrying about bad health, it's better to celebrate our good health. Jackson Bain, NBC News.